Maul or Nothing.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Maul or Nothing, the Rugby Roundup, bringing you all of the reactions from an amazing weekend of Champions Cup rugby with Ryan and Max.
It's a Champions Cup special, so what I'm going to get Max to do is, Max, you're going to go bum 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 bum. Give me that, go.
Bum 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 bum
Oh, Champions Cup special rugby roundup on the Maul or Nothing, boys. There you have it. Because I don't think we can get
that Acapella was on point.
I actually don't think we can get the rights to the music, so I thought we'd just use that. There you have it.
Yeah, that's good. That theme tune is legitimate ball tickling stuff though when you hear it.
Yeah.
Isn't it? You walk out and it's like fucking Hans Zimmer movie. Sorry.
It makes a difference, doesn't it? Why does music a different? Is there a theme tune for like Premership Rugby or anything? There's not, is there?
I don't think so. They should get one like almost as cinematically awesome as that one.
I couldn't get like when I opening game Glasgow versus Northampton, but every time I saw the trophy, I couldn't get "We are the champions." And once that was in my head, I couldn't work out the actual rugby one. But I've worked it out, and we've just given you a beautiful acapella, like you said, Max. So there you have it.
I would urge our listeners, when the YouTube edit comes out, to just watch when it all begins. Ryan, it looks like you're kind of doing the old asphyxiation thing with like an orange, because you were going really red. It was that. It was like,
I wouldn't know what that looks like. Only you would know what that looks like, Mark. Obviously,
that's easy. Yeah, big fan of it.
Boys, before we get started, I had to listen to the Harry Arundel episode on the way down to Newcastle Montpellier that I've just commentated on, and I genuinely lolled most of the way there. If anyone hasn't listened to the Harry Arundel ep from last week that went out on Thursday, oh my, the piece. I
genuinely was laughing so much. I was doing it on the train down from the BBC, and I was literally at the 57 quickest minutes of my life. It was so funny.
Lads, he was sketching.
Oh, was he? And we weren't even drinking.
No. Did I say anything? When's it out? Oh my God, I'm nervous. It was class.
Oh, he's such a good dude, eh?
Whilst we're on it, make sure you do not miss the Adam Hastings ones that are coming out this week. It'll probably come out Wednesday or Thursday. Once we decide, there's no real structure to this, as per usual. So, but keep your eyes and ears peeled for it. It's going to be a good one. That's another funny one. It's a Christmas special as well, where Mark gets dressed up, doesn't he, Max?
Oh, God, sexy Mrs. Claus, you. Woof.
I'm sort of, Thai ladyboy clause.
It's a synergy of great sexual cultures. I liked it.
And obviously, everybody who listens regularly knows I clearly didn't pick the clothes that I was forced into.
Liar.
You had a big say in that.
You could have worn pants, but you, the one that went off the toilet and just stripped naked. Yeah. But it just was like us back in the Mandarin Oriental when we got in the bed and we were in robes.
Yeah.
Myself and Max, pants on, and we realised that you didn't have anything on whatsoever. Honestly, it is slightly worrying. I think that I need to worry with your wife when I come down next.
Good. Right. Should we go to Max, please? And let's talk about ultimately a fabulous win, shed loads of squeaky bum time. But The first thing I'm going to ask you, Max, have you heard back the incredible prescient commentary for the drop goal? This is what it goes. Loose ball. Leis there just in time. I'm like, lol. He's made not usually. Sheedy's in the pocket, dinks it over. That's what it goes.
Don't worry, lads. I was very squeaky bum time when that ball came out because I was like, that is out. Get on it now. But that whole passage of play when the clock went dead, I was thinking subjectively, I was like, just do your job. and protect ball at all times. Do not give any pens, and just stay very hygienic at breakdown time. Mate, yeah, it was class. When we got that penalty and when we were playing out of our half, sent it downtown. I was like, oh, it's on. But fair play to Semi. He sort of dragged that team back into it.
Well, Max, do you want to just set the scene for people that didn't see it and are listening to this for the first time? What the fuck happened? Because my God, you boys are good at that. Like, we spoke to Rands about that final that you boys played in, where you sort of ran away with it and then let the other team come back in. I think it was Harlequins. It was. What the fuck was going on? Because I thought I think it was done and dusted at one point, and then neck minute, squeaky bum.
Yeah, I think about the last half hour, it all went Pete Tong, didn't it? We were just.
Yeah, so 33-10 at one point, Max, and then the wheels started coming up, and your old mate, Semi Randrandra, came back to haunt you.
Oh, the sneaky pick. He was doing that overs line, setting boys up left, right, and rhubarb. It was nightmarish stuff. Bloke's first game for Lyon as well. Didn't look like he'd missed a beat, did it?
And he wasn't holding back, because when he scored, he was laughing and smiling, and he was like, it was almost like he was taunting you boys.
Yeah, he was enjoying it. First thing he did when he was at the stadium was straight into the changing room. Never had a player do that. Straight into the home changing room. Just taps all round. Yeah. Mr. Manners here.
No, he came into the Bristol changing room, just said hello to everyone.
Straight away, bro.
How good. I love that.
Yeah,
that's great.
Mate, top man, top boy. I already had like his Bristol Bears little baggie of stuff that he'd probably forgotten. Our team manager probably sorting him out still. Mate, hell of a boy. Lovely guy.
I tell you who did play well, the Peace.
He did. Strong game. Very strong. We could have given him a little bit more help at breakdown. Lyon coming strong there. A bit of a battle there. But for our set piece was... Set piece. Anyway, I thought our set piece was a big in for us in the game. But a lot of turnovers. And then just made some real bad missed tackles. But fair play to Lyon. They were very, very dogged, and they were game all 80 minutes.
Oh man, I was worried for you. I'm telling you though, I don't know whether it's because we did the thing with the Peace, Harry Randall, last week, but I just now that I play a Cam him as well, and I'm going, why is he not playing for England? He should be out in for a shout.
He should be.
He's our mate now. He should be going in there. That's ridiculous. Come on, England!
Yeah, he's hit some lovely form, hasn't he? Like last few weeks, he's been absolutely class. Very happy for him. He came off the field absolutely spent. Like the first 20 minutes of that game were hella skelter. Boys were like blowing, but man, yeah, him and Fitz after the game, Fitz Harding. Absolutely dust. Never seen it like that. Like both emotionally just dejected. Just that game had put them on a roller coaster,
mate.
Because obviously they're like two of the lead sort of captains, like shot callers of our game management, and they were just absolutely losing hair out there. It was quite fun to watch afterwards.
But for all the games, it was the one that it's almost the comeback from the comeback. They came back, and then you came back from the comeback. It didn't quite make sense. And did you join the celebrations when your old mate Sheed sticks the droppy over, or were you blown out your arse? And did you celebrate with the team? Did it come?
No. Bro, this is what happened. So I did the pick and go. I'm on the floor, just pinned to the bottom of the breakdown, and I'm like, all I hear is this celebration behind me, and I'm like, I looked. First person I see is Bats. I'm like, did we do it? He's like, yeah, we did it. I was like, thank God. Thank you, the Lords of Rugby above.
So no celebrations, just the sheer relief.
No. I was just, mate. The relief was palpable. It was like a texture out there. Yeah.
Oh, that is so good. Yeah. No, fair play to him. I mean, it wasn't an hard one, was it? He was pretty much there, like under sticks. I was worried he was too close to the bloody sticks.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought he was a little bit too close. But
you know what I mean? If he had gone anything above a sandwich, he was in trouble because he would have gone under the posts. But he's knocked it over, and there's a good celebration. The only concern I did have was being at the bottom of that pile up. Oh God, the claustrophobia would have kicked in. Get off me! I can't breathe. Let me out.
Full dog pile.
You've got an obligation as probably the first and second bloke that jump on top of him to take a little bit of pressure off of him. Do you know that? So when you
The
pile in,
bridge.
you've almost got to push up and try and keep a little bit of pressure off the bloke at the bottom in case too many people climb on top and you kill him, because you know what I mean, that's the last thing you want. But fair play, Maxie. I was very happy for you, and it was your birthday as well. So happy birthday! You are now going backwards like I did. So you went to 34, and then you're going back to 33. We'll just call it 33. Just stay at 33.
Yeah, 34. Mate, I was telling people how old I was. Max Millins was absolutely shocked when I told him. I was like, no, seriously. He was like, no, you're pissing. You're taking the piss.
Wow.
I was like, no.
He looks like an old man, though, to be fair.
Yeah, he's sneaky young. He's 26 at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know.
27 soon, but
he just looks like quite an old person.
Oh yeah, no, it takes life. Yeah, no, he's aged well. I think he's on that path.
Did you do anything special?
I wouldn't say he's old.
Anything special for your birthday?
Today, just reunited with the family. It was sort of a deferred celebrations down in Oxford. Had a lovely, like a bit of a dog walk, some pub grub. Yeah, it was nice. Just family time.
But what was the celebration like of your actual birthday? Considering, did you go out with the boys last night?
Nah, I just chilled. It was late. I just didn't really have it in me. I was like, nah, I'm going home. I'm going to chill.
But it was your birthday.
And you
I know,
won.
but you know what it's like? When you get to this many birthdays, it's just like, it's just another one.
Yeah.
You always celebrate the next one.
Best present?
Trip to the Cotswolds.
Oh,
in January.
Nice.
That should be lovely.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That you are getting old. You're getting bought trips to the Cotswolds. You're getting old, mate.
No one gets you really presents anymore, do they?
Yeah, well,
it's like, nah, you
don't need stuff anymore, right?
You don't need
like
stuff anymore.
Grown up.
Yeah, the only reason I reckon I get presents is because the kids want to buy me presents. That's the only people that buy me presents, to be fair. Yeah, so wait until you start having little ones, and then they start buying you presents.
Then they
you buy your presents for yourself, so it's completely pointless.
Oh, I see. That's not good. Yeah, that's not ideal.
Did the rest of the boys go out and have a big night?
I think there were a few lads. I think Semi was leading the charge, actually. So, I think he was like, of course, in Bristol, let's go. And all the boys were just fully on his coattails, obviously.
Yeah, how good.
Goes without saying. The sheriff's back in town. Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Oh, well, you'll feel fresher for it on Monday. Let's just put it. Let's just take the positives out of that, because I think you should have gone out, enjoyed your birthday, enjoyed a big piss up with your old mates.
Yeah, maybe you're right, but I didn't have FOMO for once, which was, I think that's how you know you're getting old. Yeah. When there's no FOMO, bro, that's weird. Usually I've got it awful, like chronic FOMO.
Ryan's never gone through that. He's still just a FOMO machine.
He's always got me.
No, I'm just always there. So
yeah. Don't let the FOMO catch me ever. But yeah, mate, great result though for Bristol, and as you said, Ryan, sort of comeback from the comeback to actually end up winning it. Quick one on what was the moment? Quite a crucial try, but bouncing off your South African buddy Van Rensburg, and then I was like, "Go on, tackle, Max. You can do it."
Oh man, Parisson, wasn't it? He was on fire all game. Yeah, that was a tough one. I was like, if I get this, and he did stumble a little bit, but it wasn't to be. I was like, God damn, that would have been cool. But yeah, it was just outside my abilities of acceleration.
He had some wheels though, right?
A few good tap tackles this weekend, weirdly. Owen Farrell's one on Kane Mooney, which nearly stopped him from scoring.
Is it actually incredibly satisfying seeing like some winger running past and he's just done him just by essentially a paw?
It's the weirdest feeling having it done to you. It's like your legs just go like completely away from you. Like it's almost like you've been shot.
Yeah.
I can imagine if you've been shot in the leg, that's what it feels like. You're just like nothing, like you don't know what's going on, and you just start stumbling and fall over.
Yeah, it is the finesse tackle. It is so lovely, very satisfying when you pull it off.
Let's move on. We've got a lot of obviously games to round up. I'm just going to clump them a little bit. I mean, if we, a lot of talk of the death of English rugby, but 6 wins out of 7 with sort of, ironically, Sarri's the only English club to actually lose. Let's start with the Marcus Smith show.
Oh la la. Huh?
Boys, he was on fire. Not just drop goals 45 metres out, but in defence, that shot on Henry Arundel absolutely smokes him. You can tell he's up for it. He's got the absolute puggy behind him. He's been on the old nicotine gun, mate. He's had 12 nicotine guns. He's going. He's frothing. It also takes that try so well. And it was quite funny. Listen to the commentary. They were like, "Oh, Zia Khaleesi, probably overfolds there. Completely fucking overfolds, but people don't want to say it because it's Zia Khaleesi." He might have made a slight.
It is weird.
Yeah, he's made a slight mistake there in defence. If that was anyone else, it's like he's completely fucked up there.
Bro, commentators are so bad for that. When there's like Teflon Don players playing, they're like, "Yeah, it was that guy's fault, not his fault. He's crept in a cramp. He's mustard."
But to be fair, Marcus Smith took his try really well. He was outstanding, boys. He was so good. And with the old Owen Farrell news about England, etc., it's just like, oof, there you go. He's stepped up to the mark, and you just wonder, will he cement his place in the England team finally? Because fuck, he was good.
Yeah, get him in. We want him in. We want him in. For the good of rugby. Mate, he's King Midas right now. He's on fire. Everything he does is glorious.
We'll come on to another 10 in a minute because I met Finn Smith, the young 10 for Northampton at the weekend. Lovely fella. Can play for Scotland though. We're trying to lure him in, but I think he could be in for a shout as well. But we'll stay on the Racing game. Oh, boys, what were Racing doing at the end to not take the scrum?
They should have just taken the scrum. I don't know.
Take the scrum. Take the bloody scrum. You've just done 3. It's your 3rd tap play in a row. The opposition have a yellow card. It was their 2nd row down, so they're going to have to stick one of the back rows into the 2nd row, which, trust me, none of us ever wanted to do. No one wants to put their head in the boiler house. And they've not. They're going to bring it back in. If they don't bring it back in, the scrum goes well. If they bring it back in, then there's space to attack. And you just think they're going to score, but they've what have they done? They've just completely blown that. I couldn't believe it. You could even see Joe Marler on the sideline looking at it going, what? Why have they not? And then they knock the ball on and lose the game.
Flex.
Shocking. Absolutely shocking. You think, fucking hell, what have they done there? So fair play, though, to Quins. I thought they were very good. But, Racing will be kicking themselves.
That's that Racing game. Got to talk about the 9 for Racing. Legaric, he was very good. He was like a bad case in for Tiger. He was everywhere. All the good stuff in attack for Racing, like absolute class. I feel like though, when you're a 9 in France, don't matter how well you're playing, you ain't playing for France. Someone else was also having a cerebral game of rugby against the Cardiff Blues.
Yeah, he played well. We won't mention his name. Let's not say his name in the same sentence as Gary. I'm going to call him Le Garrick. Let's say it French Mark. Say that. Nutface Mark.
Doesn't need to be Nutface Mark. Face Mark. Just Le Garrick.
Le Garrick. Nutface Mark. Le Garrick. Sorry, Nutface Mark. He was very good. Sahili, very unbelievable as well. He played really well. Who else was good? I'm thinking of some other games. I've got some people from some other games that I was very happy with.
Can we talk about, as we're on Racing, Henry Arundel's decision to kind of blow the RFU's hybrid offer out and sign with Racing for a longer period, and now he's been told he can't play in the Six Nations.
What the fuck is that? How ridiculous is that?
Really
I can't believe they moved the goal.
Yeah,
exactly. It almost is petulant. They've moved the goalpost and says, right, well, if you're not re-signing, you can't play in the Six Nations that we said you had special dispensation for. Like, what? Hold on a minute. In what world is that fair? Max, give it to me.
It's not fair. You're right. It's completely petulant. But I think they're just really sour about it. They're very bitter, aren't they?
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it.
That's like how I treat my kids. If all right, so you haven't cleaned up, so you're going straight to bed. That's what's happening, and you're like,
so surely this year he should be able to play, and then next year he shouldn't be able to play.
Yeah, that's what the rule was. That's what they said he could do.
That was the rule. The rule was special dispensation, whatever it is. You're allowed to play in the Six Nations and nothing further. But now that you haven't re-signed, we're not letting you because you should have signed.
Yeah, because we're daddy and you do what you're told. No autonomy in this game, mate. It's all hierarchical nonsense.
I mean,
I actually can't believe
say
that.
it. Go on, Ryan. Let's really dig it because that's fucking ridiculous, right? Seriously, we won't get Max because obviously he's somewhere along the lines with that. But that is, like as childish as you can get.
Yeah, that's complete and utter bullshit. I think that's completely unfair and fair play to him. Just sticking to his guns. He wants to carry on playing there.
Yeah.
He's obviously enjoying it. Like, life doesn't just exist in the Premiership. In fact, there's not a huge amount of life left in the Premiership the way they're going. So he's going, hold on a minute, I'm going to do the right thing for me. So unbelievable. You can't hold it against someone. Do you know what? It's not even the fact that they're not going to let him play further down the line. Fine. It's just the fact that they've taken that away from him. And I suppose the real thing is, though, whether he had or hadn't, they probably would have just said to Borthwick, oh, you can't pick him anyway. So actually it doesn't matter. It's like my whole thing, when I got in trouble, right, with the SIU, it was to do with the club and I got banned from the club. But they said that I wasn't banned for playing for Scotland. I was merely uninvited to play. You're invited to play for your country. You don't. And so I was uninvited to play for Scotland. And that's how I got around that loophole.
But yeah, but if you're Henry Arundel, right, and there are going to be people who are going to criticise, like, I can't believe you've turned your back on your country. But if he's made it quite clear in that it was an interview with the Times, and he's like, my backs coach is Joe Rokothoko, my attack coach is Freddie Michalak. They play a certain game, and the implication is, I'm not going to, if he plays for England, even if he is picked, he's spending the whole day just running up and down trying to catch balls. He's not getting any ball in hand because of the very boring way Borthwick has set up the team historically. He might change right in the Six Nations, but is there an element of that in Henry Arundel's thinking that even if he did play for England, it's not going to be the most fun experience for him?
I think also he's very young, isn't he? So like that obviously coming into his decision-making process there, like he can sort of put it to the side for a bit and put that off. But you're right. I think the temptation of playing for Racing with all those like ridiculous coaches, those GOAT coaches, you got a star-studded team around you. You're rubbing shoulders with guys like Sia Khaleesi. You're getting fat stacks, euros coming out your ears.
You're playing in one of the best arenas in the world. That indoor stadium is so cool. You're living in one of the best cities ever. You're learning another language. It's a no-brainer for him to stay there. And I just think they need to change this rule very quickly for England. If they don't, then they could end up in a bit of trouble.
He said, he was quite interesting because he actually said, I play in essentially a team of Galacticos, is I think the term that he used. And then he said, Sia texted me when he got the hat trick on his debut. And then also he's like, one of the games, Sia brought Reece James to come and watch as his guest. And he's like, I'm just meeting Reece James. So in his mind, he's like, this is just like the most kind of out of this world experience that he's having.
Who's Reece James?
The Chelsea right back and England right back.
But hold on, Sia Khaleesi is a Liverpool fan. He shouldn't be hanging out with my mate Reece James. He's a Chelsea player.
But in any case, Henry Arundel, from the boys' perspective, you would all have done the same thing?
100%.
100%. Because he's not even guaranteed to play for England.
Precisely.
Right. There we go. Okay. It's been said here. Let's move on. We've got obviously plenty to go through. Let's continue rather. Your mate Blair Kinghorn with a brace on debut, Toulouse thrashing Cardiff. No surprises probably in the result, but quite nice on your debut at home with a couple of meat pies.
Yeah, it was wonderful to see him grace the field with those Toulouse legends. And again, like another bloke that went over there to experience something different. And some people are like, oh, he shouldn't be leaving Scotland. He shouldn't be leaving Edinburgh. We've done everything for him. And you're like, shut up. He's going over there to play with bloody Anton Dupont and his mates. Like, you must be mad. But Blair played well, actually. A lot of pressure. We spoke about it, didn't we, last week, and said there was a lot of pressure on him, especially getting bought out of his contract. But he played really well, took his try nicely. But he's playing with the likes of Dupont and Villiers. Oh my goodness, that bloke! Even though hold on, he plays Toulon, doesn't he? He was ridiculous for Toulon. I'm going on another game. I've got 1,200 games in my head. So much fucking code.
So much code.
So much code. Guys, talk me through the underrates, up the jumper, tap penalty, people going left, and it's Mavaka with the no look pass going wide, and Jelonch just bang under the post. That's what that's literally what Racing should have fucking done if they were gonna do something.
Yeah, mate, that was well worked when he was just a javelin through the air. Geelong knew exactly where he was going. It was undefendable at that point.
That wasn't the only special quick tap we saw either this weekend. There was another one, other than the 3 in a row exactly the same from Racing, which didn't work out. Everyone's doing it now. They're changing it up. They're going, what do we do? What do you reckon about it, Matt? It's like these. I love it. I love that they're going these little tap plays. But would you go to the corner and just take them all instead? That's what Glasgow is. They're so dangerous.
I think it just depends on what you're good at, really, doesn't it? Like some teams are very good at. Some teams have really good hookers for those sort of fake mauls who can get out wide, get to the second defender, third defender, set up the backs for a good set piece attack. Or you might have like an absolute bully maul, so you just go to the maul every time. Requires like minimal sort of skill execution, more just technical sort of prowess and grunt. But then again, those quick taps, if you've got the players, man, and a little bit of cunning, they can get pretty fun.
I think I would just be spending all day doing the most ridiculous one you could ever think
outrageous, like like the Mighty Ducks.
Do you never practice those? Have you literally in your entire career, how many times did you guys go, right, we need just one kind of fun one with like quadruple dummy, everything, scissors all over the place?
You would practice them at training, but yeah, it was
got
to a point where you would want to put something else in there and catch them. No, let's not be stupid with this, but you should be, because it was almost like Toulouse were stupid with theirs. It was the most ridiculous, like moving parts everywhere, and it came off an absolute treat. So more of that, please.
I feel like you can get super expansive with those, like some NFL play action madness. But I feel like that hasn't happened just yet. But it could evolve rapidly and get real fruity, which would be very exciting.
And Racing had only obviously practiced one. That's why they did the same one 3 times in a row. That's why the third time they're like, oh, God, what should we do here? Like, don't know, no one else practiced another one. We've only got one up the sleeve. Toulouse 52 points to 7, hammering Cardiff. That's a tough old day at the office for Cardiff. And they talked up, like there was a few boys there like, on debut and stuff, and they're going, what an honour it is to go and play a debut. But Toulouse were too good on the night.
I thought Martin was very good for Cardiff. He looks promising, the number 8. And also, I thought Cardiff, De Beer had a strong game, given the scoreline. He was actually pretty good. And the Cardiff scrum, I thought, was unfortunate with a few calls. I thought they were on top there. But, yeah, it's tough to stop the masterclass that is that sort of well-oiled machine. It's just, 52-7 says, it is what it is. But
ouch.
Ouchie, indeed. But that's a tough place to go. Absolutely.
Speaking of now less tough places to go, unfortunately, Ryan, you're on. There's a bit of a run now, right? How many defeats is that? 2, 3 on the bounce?
Hold on, what? Hold on a minute. You slagging off Glasgow?
I'm not slagging off Glasgow. I'm being factually accurate about
sort of, not that tough places to go. Very tough place to go. Before Friday night, they'd only lost at Scotstoun once in 22 games.
And now you've lost how many in 2 games?
This is the second time they've lost in 22 games.
Fair enough. My apologies. I'm a huge fan of the Glasgow Warriors. You know that. Of course, we're officially lovers of the Warriors. But that wasn't a great performance.
No. You're right. They didn't get off to a good start. Northampton came out the blocks firing. Tommy Freeman on fire. That bloke, very good with his mate Fraser Dingwall on the
That's a good
inside.
experiment, isn't it? Winger to 13. He's looking naughty.
Yeah, he was
Very
good.
big body in the middle. Got the toe as well to get on the outside, mate. Could be very destructive going forward. He's been class.
Yeah, that was a nice little 10, 12, 13 trio with Finn Smith, the young Scotsman. It's probably going to go for
We'll make. Come on, let's manifest this one.
he was pulling the strings at 10, and then he had Fraser Dingwall and Tommy Freeman outside him. They got a pretty young squad who were playing bloody well. They came out the blocks far, and Glasgow managed to rein it in. I think Glasgow will be really frustrated that they didn't come away with 2 points, because right at the end, the opportunity to get a losing bonus point and 4 tries, which when you look at the table, they would have been joint third with Bayonne and Munster, because although they wouldn't have got a draw, they've still got 2 points. So it's a huge missed opportunity. By getting those 2 points would have been important, but they'll be all right. Glasgow will be all right. And they go over to Bayonne this week. Sadly, I've tried my best, boys. I've been trying to get TNT to send me over there to commentate in Bayonne, but they're sending me to the studio in Chiswick to do it.
Oh.
I can go on the charter flight and get over there, and I can go out 3 days early if you need me to, just to just scout the area. But they won't let me. So a big one coming up this weekend. But yeah, Glasgow, unfortunate against Northampton. What was the final score there at Northampton? 19-28 to Northampton, and they're off for a flyer. A lot of big chat around that game though, because they've been struggling a little bit, Northampton, and now they're finding some form. They beat Sarries last week, and now they've gone and turned over the mighty Glasgow up at Scotstoun. Maybe they're on a roll. But Finn Smith, we interviewed him after the game, and he spoke for about 5-10 minutes, just chatting away. Honestly, very wise head on a young set of shoulders. He was a joy to interview, and he was very articulate, Max. I was quite impressed by the young man, and that is why I think he should join the Scotland ranks and not the England team. He's not going to get in with Marcus Smith there, is he?
No, he's a different kind of player. But I think let the man go where he wants.
Make his choice.
He's clearly an idealist.
Yeah, let him chase the money.
Let him chase his own destiny.
Let him chase the money. You're such a dick for just dropping that would be the decision that he would
all
make.
His Scottish family were there. His nan, his granddad, all his aunties, they were at the game because they lived nearby. So it was wonderful. We were like, isn't it great to feel like you're back home, Finn? But yeah, lovely bloke, and fair play to him. He played well.
Can we have a quick word on... I found it incredible that was Courtney Lawes' first try for Northampton in 5 years. How?
Yeah, I know. How? That's wild, isn't it?
That's some back rows just do that. They just go through the hard graft, do it all the dirty stuff, and never really go and take the plaudits.
To be fair, he's played a lot of international rugby, but he's had a few injuries in the past, so he might not have been repping Saints as much as he should have in recent seasons. But like the guy's on fire still, mate. It's sad to see him just hang it up for internationals because he still looks consummate. Bloke's a freak show. But yeah, man, Saints have been. You're right. I think they're just really, really galvanised by what they're doing now. They just look so composed and confident. I think the defence is coming along, and their attack was already pretty potent. But mate, they look dogged.
I'll tell you what I do love doing when because I'm obviously on the other side now, and I ask the questions. And after a big win, I'm like, "Oh, out on the beers tonight, then." Or I don't think it gets asked that often, and their faces are like, "No, strictly business." He was like, "No, Finn Smith." I was like, "So you're out on the tiles in Glasgow tonight?" He's like, "No, strictly professional. No, just back to recovery." I know for a fact they went out in Glasgow.
Did they? Was there any Glasgow kisses that came there? Thank you for pointing out the Glasgow nutface. But no one got in any trouble then?
No, I don't think so. Not from what I've heard. I've sent the spies out to find out, but no, nothing. But yeah, so Northampton, Exeter sit very nicely at the top of Pool 3. Should we talk about Exeter whilst we're there?
Good win in Toulon.
Oh my goodness. And this is where I can finally speak about Villiers. He's just on absolute fire, the bloke. He's so good. I think he's one of the best wingers in the world at the moment, just watching him. But again, Exeter, sneaky little fuckers, young blokes going over there. Rob Baxter buzzing off of the back of that one. Did you watch it, Max?
Yeah, no, I watched it. I watched a bit of it, but yeah, I loved it when they're just like buzzing. Everyone's on the bottom. Slady's getting all the plaudits for, again, massive cojones on the bloke. And I think they really shot Toulon. Toulon just looked shocked. They were like, "What is going on here? The script has been flipped."
Yeah, well, the old Pili before, like, going crazy. It's so good. Oh, it is such a cool place to go and play. But talking about Slady, lining that kick up to win it at the end, right? And did you see he's tried to sneak an extra 5 metres, right? So it's meant to be on the 15, and he snuck it infield a little bit more to make it a little bit easier. He's taking it 20 in. As he's going to take it, you look, they line up the kick from behind, and they can see the fans in the background. You know, usually silence, have some respect for the kickers. They are going mental. The Frenchies all behind him.
Yeah,
like,
they don't care.
Trying to put him off. I absolutely love that sort of thing. But then the pressure was on. The ref said the clock's off, and it was like a loaded forward and backwards, forward, backwards. Hold on a minute, let's go and look. And you could tell the Toulon players were saying, no, he's got to take it back to the 15. Finally, to kick back to 15, but you just knew that bloke. Like you said, balls are still. He slotted it. And Exeter have got an historic win over there with a very young team. So it's, fair play to him. But poor Toulon. My big mate, Big Brian Aronese as well. He put in a shift as well.
Yeah, Jamine, he had a hell of a game. But, like, mate, statistically, Toulon are winning all of it. Mate, Exeter's staying in there, plucky as ever, and get it done. But looking at them on the stats, yeah, Toulon were all over him. Mental.
Right. Have you got a stat sheet there or something?
Yeah, I've got a stat sheet, lads. It's wild.
Fuck have you got that from?
Post-contact meters, top passes. More line breaks, more turnovers won.
Well, let's continue in that group and the French team. Let's talk about the draw at Thomond Park between Munster and Bayonne.
It was like they'd won. It was like they'd won the Champions Cup, boys. But to be fair to them, my old French mates, it was their first ever appearance in the Champions Cup. And to go over to a team like Munster at Thomond Park in Limerick, 169th Champions Cup game, they're thinking it's going to be a tough day at the office. And Bayonne have pulled a draw out of the bag. But like I said, celebrating like they'd won the whole thing. Fair play to them. You love to see it. It was a big old game for them, and I was just really gutted for the Munster team. Really, really gutted. Slip up.
Sarcasm is the weakest form of wit, Ryan.
Final hurdle, and the Bayonne team just managed to sneak it over. Yeah, little bastards. But yeah, I was celebrating quite hard. I was very happy. It was a beautiful thing to see. Fair play to Bayonne. Also, it helps Glasgow because, like I said, we need to try and keep the points down. I think it does. Probably doesn't. It's top 4 that goes through, isn't it, of these pools? So they do say you've got to try and win your home games in Champions Cup. So that does help them. But, yeah, tough ask for Glasgow to go over to Bayonne because they were pretty good.
Right, let's go into Pool 4. Let's talk about Leicester and a fabulous win over the Stormers.
Stormers, they've not been great in the URC. They're mid-table, I think they are. They've not been firing on all cylinders, but they were pretty good. They pulled away in the first half, 17-13 at half time. You think, hold on a minute. Leicester at home against the Stormers. Surely this isn't going to be it. But talking to South Africans, Andre Pollard, he was on fire. He was pulling all the strings, boys. His pass of his left hand under pressure to Bassett to score that try to put it to the death. I think they finished up 35-26. But do you know what I didn't like to see in that game? And I'm going to give him dickhead of the day. Bassett celebrating before he's even headed over the try line. Pollard pulled one off his left, Max, throwing a huge 20-metre miss pass. He's caught it and he's already given it, come on, celebrate, and then starts running to the try line. All I was thinking was, please, someone absolutely smoked him.
No, I did see that,
yeah, cocky little shit.
It happens. I saw Freddie Burns do that once.
Oh
against
no,
Toulouse.
that's so sad for Bath, wasn't it? And it's almost like it.
Yeah.
He got
It happens. You've got to be careful of those early celebrations. Just get it done, and then you can get weird afterwards.
Yeah,
or at least do it during touchdown.
Oh,
okay, so that's our dickhead of the day. Goes to Bassett.
Yeah, but fair play to Leicester. They played well, and they're the only team in Pool 4 that go through with 5 whole points, and that's them right at the top. Bonus point victory for them. But yeah, Andre Pollard, another
and Kata. Solomon Kata was very good.
Oh, mate. Where did he come from? Exeter, didn't he?
Yeah, he came from Chiefs. But yeah, he used to play for the Wow as well, bro. Like coming off the back of that Thomond World Cup, mate, he's looked like a handy signing for them.
He was a wrecking ball, man. He was so good.
Mate, that flick he did?
Yes.
Oh,
it's
naughty.
coming out.
To Liebenberg. Oh.
Yeah.
Left hands for a big man.
Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot.
Boys, let's move to a repeat of last year's final and a hell of a revenge from the Leinster lads in La Rochelle.
You know what? How that game started. The 6 minutes in, where who took the high ball, and then Skelton gathers it, and he's basically just throwing geezers on the floor. Like 3 blokes all have a shot at him, one after the other, and then he goes 1-0. So that's when you knew it was on. It was a big grudge match, wasn't it? And you could see like the intensity and the physicality. Blokes were perpendicular, vertical, horizontal through the air. It was wild. I thought almost that La Rochelle were trying too hard to make that like a statement. When like Dante looked like he lost his head a bit, throwing geezers around in the dead ball, getting that card. But yeah, mate, it was what it was, and you could see how much it meant to the men of Leinster getting that win away. But I thought La Rochelle were going to do them again, but fair play to them, held true. That's a big result away,
isn't it? That's a big old loss. They're now top of the table in the URC. They've just gone over and beaten the European champions, and some people are going, "Oh, are they going to be as good without Johnny Sexton?" And suddenly going, "Hold on a minute." It was horrible conditions over there, wasn't it? But Ryan Baird, James Ryan putting an absolute shift in, and then bring it. Oh, I know what we'll do. We'll just bring that bloke, Josh van der Fleer, off the bench, shall we? That bloke that's just on the bench. Let's just bring him on. He gets the turnover. Kieran Frawley knocks it over to make sure they don't get anything out of the game. Leinster, boys, it's weird what's going on over there. It's weird. Drug test them. Do something. Try.
What? Just throwing dirt around can only be the only reason.
It is weird. Yeah, they're good. They're good. Give it to them. They're bloody good.
Yeah. Oh, mate, they were very good. Bet was class as well.
Like going over there and winning as well in European Cup, opening game for the European Cup after everything that's happened. That's their 4th attempt at La Rochelle as well, and they finally got it. They finally bloody got it. So
they shake the hoodoo.
We won't
huge.
We won't get Nolsey on this. We'll get him on after a win, I think, rather than after that, to try and find out how things are going in La Rochelle. But Stade Francais Sale Stade Francais rather. Great result at home for Sale.
Yeah, man, huge game. I thought it was a bit scrappy at the beginning, but I think Sale's dominance up front just solidified it. Gave George Ford the seat he needed. I thought Manu had a strong game as well. Got stopped a few times though. My God, they were after him, but they knew where the ball was going. And O'Flaherty back in the team, he was looking class. I thought Ben Bamber had a busy game. The young lock forward, he was everywhere. Gus Waugh, trademark control of the field with his boot. Great result for them.
Let's do Pool 2 to finish off the game. We didn't touch upon Bath blitzing Ulster and just looking great at the Rec.
Yeah, I don't know about blitzing them. It was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I think even Ulster were winning at half time, and it wasn't until probably towards the end that they pulled away, got a couple tries right at the end. And talking to Freddie Burns, his younger brother, played pretty well, pulling the strings for them. Ollie Lawrence, Soccer and Singer, both outstanding. Bath. What do you think, more importantly, of the red Spiderman outfit, Max? Do you like it? Are you all right with that? The red shirt of Bath? I felt a bit weird watching it. Then I saw it.
Why? What was wrong with it for you?
I don't know. I was just What was it? What was their other away kit colour? Was it always red?
Nah, usually it was like for Europe they usually go like black, so they usually go black and gold.
Yeah.
But they've sort of gone a bit spicy, haven't they? It does look. You're right. It's very reminiscent of a Peter Parker vibe, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
old school Spider-Man vibes. It looks good though. I thought it was a nice shirt.
Yeah, no. I was when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, I'm not sure." And then I'm watching it back. Yeah, but yeah, fair enough. Bath doing it at the Rec. I did laugh at one point when I heard one of the commentators. He was like, "Oh, and that's it," and Bath runs it in and scores in the muddy bit behind the post.
It did look like muddy, didn't it?
The
though?
muddy bit.
But it did look really muddy when it was. I was like, "Well, don't put it down there, mate."
Yeah, what did you think of Bath, Max? Did you see it? Like, honestly, Ollie
Yeah, I
Lyon.
did. I thought Bath keep doing what they're good at. They managed to impose that on Ulster. Ulster obviously pretty stacked, but mate, Benno Urbano and Will Stewart, Tom Dunn up front, getting the vice-like grip on that scrum. I think O'Toole struggled a bit with Urbano, especially with Will Stewart getting forward on kits off. And then you give Finn that kind of armchair ride. He's going to do stuff. He was putting boys in holes. Left. He was the Undertaker, wasn't he? Like Big Joe, Crossan. Mate, they just every game on game they look like they're just growing more and more confident. Mate, class.
It is interesting though, because if you think about it, you come to Europe and teams suddenly it's a completely different tournament. So it's like slate wiped clean. Like I saw it today with one of the games I was doing, although it was the Challenge Cup. But Ulster haven't been playing that well, and you think Bath are going really well in the Prem, aren't they? So you're like, oh, this is going to be a tough one. But actually, Ulster held their own, and it's different, isn't it? In Europe, it's just.
Yeah.
Look at you,
it's
boy.
that theme song, bro. It gets everyone a bit weird, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Gets their nuts tingling. And then
do you do anything in the week different? Because Glasgow do a little bit different. They try and change it up. I know that Newcastle tried to change it up and freshen up. They went and trained at Sunderland Stadium. What did you do? Anything different?
No, it was more just like everyone like very short and hard sessions, but it was like short days. Make sure everyone's fresh. I'm like, well, why don't we do this all the time? I was like,
yeah, exactly.
This works.
Why? Because it's Europe. Yeah. The Prem's a grind and you should be fresh.
Yeah. It's true though. You've just gone and run amok in the first 50, 60 minutes against Lyon and we have some of the best players in the world.
It worked. Yeah. Kind of.
Impressive.
Is Pat going to be super happy, by the way, on Monday?
No, he's not. We're going to be replaying that last 20 minutes for a while, I think. What did you do here? What were you thinking here? Mate, it's my favourite. So in the meetings, he'll put like your initials and a question mark, and that's when I call. And then he's like looking for an answer from you. So your initials will come up, then a question mark. And I'm like, the Riddler's back, lads. Edward Enigma's on the attack. Where's Batman when you need him? And then you're just like,
so hold on. It's just everyone's initials, and if there's a question mark, there's something that you need
so
to
it'd be like there'd be a clip, say, that comes up of what went wrong.
Ah, yes.
And then it'll be like, I'll see ML down there with a question mark. I'll be like, what have I done this time? Out of my laundry list of deficiencies. And you're like trying to figure it out before he gets to you because he's going to be asking. And then you give him the answer and you'd be like, are you asking me or are you telling me? And you're just like, that old chestnut. I see what you're doing. Very good, sir.
Are you going to get pulled up, do you think? Is there anything?
No, I think I'll be all right this time. Mark.
Here's the hoping.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Yeah. We'll hear about it. You
never know. I could have jinxed that. Next minute, come in. Deflect the shields up. I'll just blame it on someone else.
Talking about jinxing, I would never have done this when I was playing. Would you touch the trophy if it was there? Like, superstition. Would you touch the trophy?
Oh, mate, the thing about superstitions, Ryan, is after a while, I just don't believe in any of them because it didn't matter how many times I did something, a different result would happen. So eventually I just became completely unsuperstitious.
So if you saw the Champions Cup sat right there, you'd happily...
Yeah, I just
Hold on. No. I'm going to actually narrow it down a bit. You're going into the final of the Champions Cup. Bristol versus Montpellier. Bristol versus Toulouse, right? Yes. And there it is on the way out. You dare to touch it on the way out?
Yeah, why not?
No, genuinely, would you actually?
Why is that so weird for you, Ryan?
Ryan is actually appalled by
Yeah.
this kind of behaviour.
Mate,
Ryan, I didn't know you were a
I
superstitious
didn't realise
man.
it was gypsy curses,
Oh.
mate.
Yeah, if someone passes me the salt, get that, put that down. I will take it from the table, not from your hand. Thank you very much. You should never pass the salt. There's loads of them.
Fascinating.
Okay.
Okay.
Magpies walking under ladders. I'm a
And you
proper
call me crazy.
Yeah. It rains all the time in Glasgow. You like watching umbrellas going up and it's going to go up.
Oh, yeah, 100%. New shoes on the table. I can't put any shoes on the table, but when the kids put new shoes on the table, I'm like, what is going on here?
New shoes on the table's not a thing, mate. What is that?
I've seen it all.
Comment
Lucky
below
underwear,
if you think
one
it is,
sock
because
down,
it is.
one sock up, both socks down. Certain pair of undershorts that have been worn since school. But what else do people do?
No,
Touch the wall on the way out.
Is like, that's just a rugby superstition. This is like life superstition. You should never pass the salt or put new shoes on the table.
Mate, that's
Anyway,
I've never heard
tell
the
you
salt
what.
thing.
Yeah, well, go and look it up. But I said to Finn Smith, go on, touch the cup. And he touched it. And I was like, oh, mate, what have you done? What have you done? And I told Phil that, well, I didn't actually.
Then you sneaked on him. You sneaked on him.
I didn't max on him. I didn't max on him. Orla, the lovely lady presenter, she said to Phil Dowson, by the way, Ryan told Finn to touch the cup and he touched it. And he was raging. Absolutely furious. So there you have it. Superstitions. Don't touch the cup, Matt. Fucking don't touch it.
Fair enough. Right, let's finish up and round off Pool 1. Obviously, a fabulous result for Bristol, as we have discussed. The big one, though, Saracens losing to the Bulls.
At altitude, the lungs are bleeding. It doesn't even make sense because it's in Pretoria and it's the European fucking Cup. What's going on? What's happening? Pretoria, you are sucking through straws when you're up there, like, and you can't write, and just things are getting weird.
Okay.
Red cards are going thrown about, which aren't even red cards because they barely even touch people's faces who are rolling about on the floor pretending he's been hurt.
Oh, that was poor show from I agree with that, but it was somewhat reckless from Billy V. You're right. I thought there was some ham sandwich acting there, full pantomime villain stuff. However,
Cameron Hanacon, I think his name is.
He's trying to call him out now.
He was very good, by the way. Very good.
I'm not happy about that.
I know, but he's a class. He was really good he's very good at rugby, that bloke. But anyway,
guys, he's eligible for Wales, by the way, just FYI.
Oh, God.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But, right, Max, ready? You've just missed the jump a little bit. You're Billy V. You've just missed the jump. You're like, oh, if I don't get this clear out, I am going to be crucified on a Monday morning. So I'm making an extra effort to start sprinting over. And you've got that fella who's had a bloody good game so far. It's like 60 minutes in. He's almost going for the jackal, but then he pulls out at the last minute and you think he's going for the jackal. So you put your head down. You completely miss him. You graze your shoulder on his face. He rolls around like you wouldn't believe it. And you get a red card. Doesn't make sense.
Shouldn't be a red card. Agreed.
Shouldn't be a red card. Absolute madness. And I've only been able to watch it back on X, Twitter.
Again, it's this slow motion stuff. They think like Billy V's like got like the TARDIS and he can manipulate time and has this kind of. I completely agree with you. It does look like he's had to jackal as well.
It may be a penalty, or if at worst, maybe a yellow card if he's like gone off his feet and they say it's reckless, right? But the question from the referee to the TMO was, is it glancing? Does it glance him or does it make direct contact? And at no point can I see it make direct contact. I don't see how they've given him a red card there. Like, you've got to put it into, I suppose, different things. Like there was one in the Glasgow game where Scott Cummins, I think it was, got lifted in a line out and landed on the top of Waller's head in the line out. But if Waller hadn't been injured, it would have just carried on. Nothing would have happened. Because he got injured and they went back and they looked at it and they went, oh, he's been injured. Why? Because someone landed on in a line out. They said it's reckless play, yellow card. So going back to the Billy Vunipola one, you don't see like a real direct hit of contact. I just don't think it's a red at all.
Okay, but in the context of everything, I mean, at that point, Saracens are still getting blown away anyway. It's 27-6 at the time. You got 20 minutes left. Like, I don't, it's not what it doesn't feel like it was one of those that decided the outcome.
No, but I'll tell you one that did probably make a bigger bearing on the outcome was Maratoje's yellow.
Yeah, but that was wild.
Yeah, and that wasn't like, what was he doing? And then
was he? Yeah, I've never seen him give away something like that before. That was pretty crazy.
That's what altitude does to you, Max.
Yeah, makes the brain not communicate properly. Yeah, that literally.
Of oxygen.
Yeah, that you're right. The altitude had a massive. They just look haggard in comparison to where they usually are in terms of like kick chase and energy and defense, like off the ball. Like it just looks completely different. Like Curtly Arundel and Kane Moody were like running rings. My God.
That's it. If you talk about like loose ball, and if you kick chase, one of the toughest things to do, especially when you're sucking, and when you've got boys like Aronsa and Kane and Moody.
Oh, mate, can't imagine worse.
Yeah.
But how long does it take for one to acclimatise to altitude?
So the rule is, right, you're meant to 7 days, you're meant to spend at altitude to then adapt to it.
Yeah.
But when we used to go and play there, if you could get in and out in under 24 hours, it actually didn't have as much of an effect on you for some reason. So that was, I don't know. Listen,
that sounds like a nice budget cutting. That sounds like yeah. Leave the players that. We'll get psychosomatic results and we'll save some money. Good job, sports scientists.
Smash and grab, boys. We're getting in and out. No, apparently that's they are. You could do a little bit of research if you want. I know you love.
I will. I'm going to. I want to know because that's. When
that
would Sarries have got there?
That was the chat we got. We got you either because you'd stay at a lower altitude and then fly in for the game. So I think we stayed. I want to say we stayed at Joburg, right? I could be getting this completely wrong. I can't really remember. Or did we stay in Cape Town? We stayed at one of the two, which was at a lower altitude, and we purposely didn't fly in until pretty much the day of the game. It was like the night before the game, so that we were only in and out within 24 hours. It helps you.
Yeah, but you were still sucking, like you were getting waterboarded, I assume, still, if you're saying you were sucking through straws.
Yes, you're still absolutely dying either way, I think. So
okay,
it's all in your head, isn't it, really? It's not really. It's in your lungs as well. Fucking hell.
But
yeah, Saracens out of sorts there, but fair play to the Bulls. They look good.
Stacked.
They look good. But can they do it on the road, Maximus? Can they do it on the road, the Bulls?
I think so, mate. That team is stacked. They should be able to. They got the firepower all over the park. Great pack. Some really exciting backs in the back line. I think they can do it, mate, for sure.
Have you got them? Yeah, they're in your group. Have you boys got them at any point?
No, we've got... who have we got? All I know is we've got Bordeaux next. We're going to the land of the vine.
Well, let's talk. Let's go with that. I mean, Bordeaux are looking naughty, having absolutely hammered Connacht away from home. It was a bad day for the Irish province.
Yeah, well, Bordeaux absolutely ran away with that one, didn't they? They've gone over to the sports ground, over to the Galway, the Quay Street, and they're enjoying a nice, fine pint of the black stuff straight after that one because they've done and dusted the poor blokes from Galway and done a job on them, blown them away, 5 points. What was the score?
41-5.
And I tell you, Connacht have been going all right. They're not,
I know they've been going. They've had a strong start to the season, like. So it was a bit surprising, wasn't it? It was, especially away. Like Bordeaux travelling that well away is a bit.
French teams are notoriously bad at travelling, particularly in the top 14.
Yeah.
You got to win your home games.
It's foreboding news that. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to getting down there and. Yeah.
When do you go down? Are you going down early? You're gonna acclimatise? Maybe go and have a few.
Yes.
When do you go down, Matt?
Friday. Yeah, Friday morning.
When's your game? Saturday.
Yeah.
Come back Sunday late.
I bloody hope so, Ryan.
It'd be so nice just to get down there. Hopefully a little bit of warmth, maybe like, I don't know, 14, 15 degrees, sun shining, glass of vino after the game.
Oh, what a city, though. What a city. I bloody love that place. It's the gastronomy capital of France, and it's got some wonderful food. I'm really looking forward to it. If I get picked, I'm going to partake in some of their finest delicacies.
We're going to change things up a little bit. Now, we're doing the predictions after the first round. But what we are actually going to predict are the 2 teams that will not get out of Pool 1. We're not going to do the 4 teams that will qualify. We're going to do who are the 2 teams that will not get out of Pool 1. And we're going to start with you, Ryan, to give Max just a bit of breathing room.
Oh, my gosh. This is so difficult. Because you're looking at that. Right, okay, Connor aren't going to make it out. I'm going to say Bordeaux. I'm backing you, Max. You've got to go and do a job for me this weekend. You've got to go over and beat Bordeaux. And then they'll be sort of down the bottom-ish somewhere. And I reckon Bordeaux and Connacht don't go through, I think.
Max?
What, Pool 1?
Yeah. Who's going to not get out of your pool?
Actually said Bristol.
It's a really tough pool, so I don't think we're going to get out.
I'm going to Lyon and Connacht.
Oh, well done, boys. On the same thing. Pool 2.
Easy. Cardiff, I don't think you're going through there. That's a big ask. This is a tough old pool for them.
Cardiff and Ulster.
Yeah, I think Ulster as well. Like the fact that they obviously haven't got a win straight off the bat, but those other 4 teams in there, ridiculous. So yeah, I'm with you. Ulster and Cardiff, I don't think make it out of there.
Pool 3.
I'm going to go Bayonne and...
Don't you fucking dare.
It's in there. There's a name.
Glasgow will beat Bayonne this weekend, so that's why you're saying Bayonne.
No, I don't think... Yeah.
I don't think Exeter and Bayonne will make it out of that group.
Yeah, that's potentially.
No, you don't have to go with me. You can say it if you
want.
That's
where I was going. I was going like I'm between Exeter and Glasgow.
Okay.
I'm going to go Glasgow and
Bayonne.
Yeah.
Treachery from the Pool 4.
I'm going to go Stade, and I'll go Stade and Stormers actually.
It looks so easy when we've had one round. It makes it look a lot easier. But are we getting lured into a false sense of security here? Like,
we probably are. Like, let's be honest.
Our crystal balls like, they're shit.
Our crystal balls are quite faulty. Let's be honest, Ryan.
I mean, La Rochelle, they're away this week and they don't win on the road. They're suddenly got 1 point from 2 games.
Who have they got?
2-time champions not make it out the group.
Stormers, they're in South Africa.
Oh, that's actually a big one, though, eh?
That's a huge one.
It quickly swings by, yeah.
I don't know why we did it like this, by the way. We're such negative Nellies, but anyway.
Yeah, that's Mark for you, mate. That is.
I just feel like an absolute destructive neggy person, but anyway, whatever.
I suppose we're just saying these are the 4 that will make it.
That's the point. So otherwise, you're just naming 4 teams, and you're effectively saying the same way, but in a sort of we don't want to be rude British way. So
yeah,
you've done
okay.
all right.
So I think I agree. I agree with you, Max. I think that stays as it is. Those top 4 go through, and the Stormers and Stade Francais don't make it out of the group. Me and my buddies here at Maul or Nothing just want to say a huge thank you so much for everyone's support out there already. But what we really, really, really need you to do is we need you to subscribe. We need you to do all the liking things, do everything, and share the pod. Try and let other people know about the fun you have listening to us. And, of course, do not miss the show that's coming out on Wednesday or Thursday with Adam Hastings. It's going to be a wonderful one. It's a Christmas special. We get pretty weird, don't we, Max? Lastly, we just want to say a massive thank you to our sponsor. That is Wolf Craig Distillers. Their undoubted support has got us through this, boys. We're like episode 14 already. I can't believe it. People are loving it. Max gets stopped in the street all the time saying how wonderful it is. Mark gets shouted nutface all the time. Keep it up. Thank you very much. Wolf Craig Distillers. You can head over to
wolfcraig.com
to go and check out exactly what they've got going on. And I got very drunk on their gin last night. So thank you very much, Wolf Craig. Not a way to plug it, but it's the way that we do it. Boys, it's been wonderful. The Champions Cup Rugby Roundup.
Sadly, though, that is all the time we've got left for this week. As we said, huge one coming up later on in the week with Adam Hastings. It is very funny. So do watch out for that. But thank you all for listening and for watching. And thanks to Ryan and Max. And we'll see you all next week.
More or nothing.
farewell. Give it this, Mark. Oh, Max.
I feel so left out.